get up because it's the next session on music and its impact. Let's rise and shine, beautiful ladies and gentlemen. Let's stand. If you're not eating lunch, please stand. Can we have? You have We Are Family? Theme song नहीं है. Volume करो. Give a hug. Give a musical hug to somebody by your side. Grab someone new. Make a new hug friend. Make a new hug friend. And in fact,
for the next panel.
An absolute honor to have with us a celebrated musician. Please join me in welcoming Sunita Bhuyan. Chum chum.
I'd like to invite Sita Reina, the co-founder and producer of Peninsula Studios.
Cultural unit. These are all celebrated musicians and music influencers of the industry in India. Saskia. Saskia coming from the Netherlands, a cultural entrepreneur and educationalist. Our last speaker on this panel is Sohini Roy Chaudhary, the founder of the Sohini Moksha World Dance. The radiance and the gorgeousness over-brimming on the stage. I hand you over in the very safe violinist hand of Sunita Bhuyan. Jaya Jaya Devi, Jagata Janani, Papa Vinashini, Dukh Harini. Durga, the goddess of strength, the goddess of power, goddess of love. When we were composing a few lyrics on empowerment of women, my mother said, 3,000 years back, India had the most empowered lady. Her Trishul, her biggest weapon, was given by her husband. Her bejeweled life jacket was given by her father. Her chariot full of jewels were given by Kuber, the god of wealth. And we want to empower women in India now after 3,000 years. We already are empowered and across the world. Jaya Jaya Devi Jagat Janani Pap Vinashini Dukha Harani आज ये धारा महापाप से भरा तुम दया करो हे महामाया. O Goddess, O Lord, bless us, bless the WEF, Dr. Harbeen Arora, Vinay Rai, and all those who work tirelessly across the year to put this event together year after year with the same love, passion, and diligence. Sohini Moksha, Sohini Roy Chaudhary. Well, it's a privilege to be moderating this panel, and we thought we won't speak too much because we wanted to actually speak with our crafts. And it's also a little unfair that some of our artists here don't have their instruments with them, but we are trying to get on with the spirit of being artists, of being women. All the time as women artists, we are looked at someone who are doing our craft because we have nothing else and nothing better to do. Because the impactful ones are the educators, the doctors, the psychoanalysts, the great entrepreneurs and startups, and we have an absolute regard for all of you here. But what happens when the mind and body is not coping up with what you want to do in life? We've got to take the help of the arts and the world of art and music. And I'm so honored to have these wonderful women artists with me because music heals scientifically. Music flows from the sound waves and hits the brain, and then your body starts producing the feel-good hormones. On that note, it creates therapy, better stress management, and is used in hospitals, clinics, boardrooms across the world so that people can think clear, feel good, and be healthy. 3 cheers to the world of arts and music. Like to invite the first panelist, who is a theater actress herself, but has created an amazing body of work of going into the interiors of North India and selecting singers who are not professionals and creating them into professional singers. Sita Raina of the Peninsula Studios.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sunita, and thank you, Harbeen. I think you've done a marvelous job, and may you continue. Ladies and gentlemen, all day we have been using a musical instrument. The universe has rhythm and the universe has movement. And thank you for having this panel. I think it's a very important panel to have. So I'm in the business of music. I don't play any instrument except for this. So I'm going to speak from the business side. So I'll tell you a little about my background. I'm from Calcutta. It was the Doyen, it's the absolute most heavenly place for music in the 70s and 80s when I grew up. Not only that, my father was a businessman. He was an entrepreneur. And we had many businesses like Sutton Seeds and India's Hobby Center and the GSA for Pan American and Delta Airways, etc. So coming from that background, as soon as I finished college, I decided to join my father's business and get into the world of becoming independent. Of course, my parents passed away. I spent some time in the world of advertising. Thereafter, I decided to get back into business, which was creating the Peninsula Studios with the chairperson of the music industry of India, and he was also the managing director of HMV Saregama. So I promise you, behind every great woman, there's also great men. Thank you, men. So I'll tell you, if you take your phones, you can open my website. It's thepeninsularstudios.com. Since we can't show any music or make you hear any music this afternoon. So let me tell you what the business entails. It's a private limited company, and we have a board of directors, quite eminent, strict corporate governance, and of course, code of ethics is absolutely very important in the work we do. Apart from that, the Peninsula Studio is an environment where artists, music, lyricists come together to create a band of work or to express themselves. And also the studio has the capability of having aficionados see and hear people perform while they're being recorded. It has 200 seats in the studio. So it's an environment where we are all embraced when we work there. So we have done 62 albums till date, and our publishers are the Universal Music Group. And the last recording we did was of the Maratha Light Infantry Band. Now I need a on that. Right. So we have 4 verticals. The first vertical was what Sunita was talking about. The vertical is called the discovery of the peninsula. What we do is we go into small towns and villages of India. We find artists, we bring them into the studio, we fund them. We get a music director in, we teach them how to use a click track, and we give them an album. And now we have changed their lives. We have a hashtag called Changing Lives. Music changes lives. Can I have another? So we have done the discovery of the Peninsula Rajasthan, which won a national award, and actually Sunita was there when we received the award. I don't know where she disappeared, but she's somewhere here. And we've done another album. We went into the hinterland of Punjab, and we've made a fabulous album called Coke Studio Roots, which is going to be released. That hasn't been released yet. So we work with people from the small towns and villages, and that is the first vertical. Now that is only the folk music element. The second vertical only deals with classical Indian music. It's called the Maestros in Studio. So young people who have the potential of becoming a maestro are in the Maestros in Studio area. All this is recorded. If you go to my website, you'll enjoy listening to it. The third vertical is something we've done with the British High Commission. It's called Brains Trust, where we talk about contemporary issues like the line of control, India's nuclear policy. All that has been recorded in our studio by people from the government and from the forces. The fourth area is my baby, especially because it's called Emperors of Melody. It is through theatre, we have expressed ourselves about the great composers of the golden era of Hindi cinema. So I've done theatre on S.D. Burman, on O.P. Nair, and the next one is R.D. Burman. So I think I shall end now because they're ringing away in the background. And I think I'll end with what Beethoven said, where words stop making sense, music begins. Here's to the music.
Thank you so much, Sita. We have a songstress here with us, Dhanashri Pandit Rai. Would you like to please take your position on this, in the podium? And she's been doing something extremely unique, which is, and special, keeping the tradition of the doyen of Thumri singing, Shobha Gurtu. And she is Shobha Gurtu's disciple. Taaliya uske liye ho jaye, bhaiyo behno.
Thank you, everyone. Are you up to Are you up for some seductive music? Because that is what my music, the music which I am trying to keep alive, as Sunita says. Thumri. Thumri actually started as a song of seduction. And who were these ladies who were, singing this music for the nobility and entertaining them? This was the courtesan, the tawaif, the nautch girl, called by many names. One of the most powerful women of the late 18th, early 19th century. And she entertained the nobility with her song and expression and dance. Let me show you one of these songs. The words in Hindi are Teri Katili Nigahon ne mara. Basically, your penetrative, murderous glances are casting a dagger in my heart. Teri katili nigahon ne mara. Teri katili nigahon ne mara. Nigahon ne mara. Your glances are killing me. Adaon ne mara, teri katili. So your swag, your style is killing me. Those were the kind of songs. Another one which you all may know, Come Up to My Terrace, My Beloved. Hamri atariya pe aaja re balamwa, dekha dekhi tanik hui jaye. Let's have a little rendezvous. Dekha dekhi tanik hui jaye. Let our glances meet. Nain mil jai hai, najar lar jai hai. And let our entire fight get over. Sara jhagda khatam hui jaye. Hamri atariya pe. Dr. Arora, today you're in pink. Reminds me of another very seductive thumri. Rangi sari gulabi chunariya re, mohe mare najariya savariya. Anyway, thank you. What was the economics of this courtesan? What was her livelihood? Where was it coming from? One simple principle: manipulation of men, devious seduction, making every man in the audience feel that this song was for him, while secretly remaining aloof. She would hoax her customers. Yeah, aadmi ko banana, making a fool out of a man. And that's why when she sang one line in various ways to seduce, Jia mora na lage beri balamva, my heart is not at peace, oh cruel beloved. First with irritation, Jia mora na lage beri balamva, irritation. Jia mora na lage, anger. Jia mora na lage, flirtation. Jia mora na lage, Jia mora na lage. And then desolate because the beloved doesn't come. Jia mora na lage, Jia mora na lage, Jia mora na. But a powerful woman, very, very powerful woman. And in an age where women were treated just like cattle or some other property, this woman, the courtesan, had power, money, respect. She would actually go and teach the noblemen's sons tehzeeb or etiquette. Very well respected. So, what more do you want? If she wanted to settle down, she mostly got the most wealthy men. So this was the courtesan. Unfortunately, when the British came, their Victorian values, ended the courtesan culture of Lucknow, and many of these women were forced into the red light areas, but not after having left for us this fabulous tradition of Thumri. Thank you very much. I'm so happy I got a chance to speak about this today. Thank you, Harbeen. Thank you, Sunita. Thank you, everyone.
Dhanashri has flown in this morning from Bombay, and she's flying back right now. Thank you so much for coming and doing what you do best. The next lady who I'm going to invite now is Moitri Pahari. But she's known mainly for her mega dance ensemble called Lok Chanda. Lok Chanda travels across the world with not just ensembles of 10. When we say an ensemble, for a musical ensemble for me is 3, 5, 7, max 10 or 9. Her ensembles are 50, 100, up to 1,000 that she did for the Festival of India. How do you manage this, Moitri? How do you manage to keep your craft, the discipline of your dancers? I've seen them in different parts of the world. And how do you manage doing all this across the world?
Namaskar. Good afternoon. Thank you, WEF. Thank you, Harbeen. Choreography was my single-minded aim to life. For that, I learned different dance styles, Kathak, Manipuri, different Chao, different folk dances. And for that, I went to remote villages. And then I got to know how beautiful their dance is, how disciplined they are, how disciplined their dance. Dance for them is celebration of life. They dance for themselves, and I learned a lot from them. I still working with them. They travel with me. Most of the production is with them. I will say a few people's name. I really like their choreography, like Chandralekha, Narendra Sharma, Daksha Seth, Martha Graham, Pina Bosch. I thought they have some very strong message, something to convey to the society, and that influenced me a lot. And I formed Lok Chanda. Lok Chanda means a common rhythm of mass people. And I start working with different dance forms, different dance styles. In same stage, I start working with them, experimenting with different styles, try to juxtapose to different forms, sometimes 2 forms, sometimes 5, 6, 10, 15, with large number of artists, like 10, 20, 100, 200, 500, even 1,000 in same stage and same production. They're all concept, their costumes, their rhythm, everything is different. It's quite challenging, but very interesting. When I work with them, initially it takes little time, but when they understand each other's rhythm, they understand their exit, their entry, their positions, they hardly go anywhere wrong. And it's always pleasure me to see their unity in diversity. And that's I generally do, and people also like a lot. I worked with international groups also, and Sunita, they said that for discipline, I said, from day one, if I want something, I have to convey them from the day one. I can't confuse them again and again, and I can't be biased with anything, the wrong and right. I always place that their quality, their talent, and if they understand I am fair, they like, they respect, they love, which I am getting from my students, from my dancers. That is my discipline. And I always say, this is my choreography. I never say this is my choreography. I always say this is our choreography, this is our group, this is our compositions. I try to make them feel their own identity within this group. Thank you. I would like to show 2-3 poses, if time allowed, and please, Sunita Di, if you play something.
I can't let you dance alone. The three said that I'm not a woman of words. I'm a doer. You know, I only direct and I don't talk much. I said it's not about talking with words. It's about being there as a person, and I've seen her work in the background. So, the love and respect that I have for you, Moitri Didi. Hangswadhani, the dance of the swans. Well, you know, they teach leadership in Harvard. We send our managers, our children to various institutes across the world to learn leadership. A lot of leadership you learn at home, and if you can use the artistic platforms, I think music is an amazing engagement to teach partnerships, the art of collaboration, working with differences, working for a common sound, yet with different kinds of instruments playing together. So arts, music can be a fantastic way to teach leadership, learn leadership, and drive change. And isn't that what we are here there for today? Well, the next artist here is someone who doesn't have a weapon with her, though. She doesn't have a weapon with her, which is her cello. And she has taken the cello, the Western instrument, and made it into an Indian cello. But I think that's not the reason why she's here alone. She's here because she has started a music education for children across schools in India. Saskia Raudihas, married to a fantastic sitarist whom we love.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, my dear soul sister Sunita, Dr. Harbin Arora, all sisters, soul sisters from every part of the world. I think, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I mean, big hand for yourselves. So, let me start with the question. So we are the musicians. Do we have any musicians in the audience? Yes? Oh, a few. Wonderful. Fantastic. Do we have some people with a good sense of music who can keep a tune? Oh, even more. Brilliant. Now, who in this hall loves music? Everyone, isn't it? Now, why did I start this music education program? Because I want every child to raise their hand with the very first question. In schools, in places for special needs children, in outreach program, it doesn't matter. Music has a role to play. Now, Indian classical music, I'll give a very short introduction of my own relation with that. I was born in the Netherlands, third of 3 girls, and we all played music. I was a cellist. I already performed in the National Youth Orchestra at a young age. It was clear I was going to be in music. Then I first fell in love with Indian classical music itself. Just the music itself fascinated me, and I came to India. My first guru there was Dr. Sumati Muthatkar. Perhaps some of the people who are knowledgeable in the music know this name. At that time, in '94, she was 78 years old. You know what she told me? I wish I were a few years younger. so I could learn that beautiful instrument, the cello. I think it's perfect for our music. Isn't that amazing? Now, what does that show us? I think that true tradition shows about depth, not about rigidness. It shows about adaptability, not about intolerance. That is the beauty of this music and this music culture. Now, the other thing it shows us is that a true artist learns for life. So that is how we now have 20,000 children learning music through this program, the Sangeet for All. This is a movement. It's not my effort. The children, the teachers, they all get empowered through it. Top schools in the NCR are participating in this, as well as NGOs. Thank you. I heard a little nervous bell there already. So anyone who wants to know more about this program, I'm here for another 15 minutes after the program. Would love to interact with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Saskia. Thank you for making it in spite of a busy schedule. And the last lady of the panel, Sohini. She goes with the name of Sohini Moksha, which is attaining that big thing through your art and music. Sohini Roy Chaudhary.
Good afternoon, all of you. And a big thank you to Sunita, to Dr. Harbeen, and all our wonderful soul sisters here. And I would like all of you to applaud once in celebration of womanhood, of romance and revolution in all of us. Thank you. I was a Bharatanatyam dancer who went to Spain 12 years ago and giving solo concerts, and then there was a big concert which came up where I had applied. I would like to perform there like all others. I had put in an application, and there was this director, Spanish director, I wouldn't tell you his name, of a very renowned international association, who called me into his office, and among all others he said, "You're an Indian, that's Bollywood. So would you be able to take off your shirt like the Indian heroes do, because the men would love it." It was a very hard moment for me, and I came back home and I almost cried, and I thought I'll hang up my gungroos, let's not perform here. But I'm from Calcutta, the city where you see Ma Kali dancing on the chest of Shiva, so I couldn't give it up all so easily. And soon I tried to speak in their language also, doing Bharatanatyam choreographies with Tchaikovsky, with Paco Lucia's flamenco, trying to bring in our Vedic chants with Gregorian chants and with poetry of Rumi to integrate and speak our language of love and complete inclusivity. Because according to the Natya Shastra, it doesn't depend from which part of the world you are from, which age you are in. If your body dances, your soul dances, you dance. I also banned objectification of women in my centers, where we had no rules. In the sense, any woman over 60 could come and join us, but I did not take children at that stage because they came because their parents forced them to come in. And all my students were locals. They were local Spanish, Bulgarian, Jamaican, even Iraqi. I have an Iraqi girl, Farah Daud, who dances the Shiva Tandav very well and has performed extensively in India. So that was our language of inclusivity, of love, of romance, and of India. And I would again end with the essence of Ma Durga, which is an ethos. Be loving. You can conquer with love, kindness, and empathy. There's no greater strength. Thank you.
Thank you. We come to the end of our panel, but not without a song. When there is no one, when you call out to the world, you've got to walk alone. Tagore said, "Jodi tor dak shune keu na ashe tobe ekla cholo re." All of you have to sing. We just don't have time. তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ নাই আসে তবে একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ নাই আসে তবে একলা চলো রে তবে একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ নাই আসে তবে একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ নাই আসে তবে একলা চলো রে If you have no one to walk with you, but you still have to pursue your passion, you've got to walk alone, baby. That's what Tagore said.
Yeah, you had us at wow. Really, thank you so much, girls, for instilling so much inspiration into this afternoon. We'd like to give away small tokens of our affection to you.
If I can call upon Sunita to come and give the awards to all of our lovely ladies, would be amazing. Would like to call upon Sita Reina, co-founder director of the Peninsula Studios, exceptional woman of excellence. A big round of applause for Sita Reina. Let's hear it for this dynamic group, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we would like to call upon Dhanashri Pandit Rai, Indian classical vocalist. A big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, exceptional woman of excellence. Let's put our hands together for this dynamic woman. Next, I would like to call upon Matriyev Pahari, Director of Lok Chandana Cultural Unit. Exceptional woman of excellence. Next, I would like to call upon Saskia Rao Jihad, composer, cultural entrepreneur, and educationalist. Exceptional woman of excellence. Next, I would like to call upon Sohini Roy Chaudhary, founder of the Sohini Moksha World Dance. A big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a special coronary done by Sunita, music and its impact. A big round of applause for these amazing, talented women. Thank you for
Standing
inviting us.
ovation, I think. Yes.
Make this your last. Yeah, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep hearing it for these amazing, amazing women. Thank you. We're just exiting this way.
Three cheers to these two wonderful anchors who've been holding the event together all day.
Wow, that was
That was
a
wow.
fabulous afternoon. I wouldn't have asked for anything less. This is unreal.
And we're in conversation with leaders of the decade in community leadership. It keeps getting better and better and better and better.
It does.
And
It
better.
really does. I don't think anybody wants to leave now. Would like to call upon Dr. Ingrid, Senior Vice President, Strategic Development from Germany. A big round of applause for Dr. Ingrid.
A celebrated leader, the Senior Vice President, Strategic Development for Robert Bosch Stiftung. It's an honor to have Dr. Ingrid Scholl from Germany. It's an honor. Welcome. Thank you for being with us. Please have a seat.
Next, we would like to call upon Swati Bharadkar.
If we could invite Linabel Ruth Villarica. This lovely lady coming from the Philippines is the Deputy Speaker for the House of Representatives, representing the 4th District of Bulacan in the 17th Congress of the Republic of the Philippines. What an honor!
Amazing.
If I could invite Dr. Ingrid to enlighten us with her words by sharing a little bit of her journey and learnings over the years.
Well, I think it's very, very difficult to speak after such a lovely session that we just heard. So let's go back to more somber topics. I come from the Robert Bosch Foundation, and that owns 92% of the stock capital and of the Bosch company worldwide. And in order to do our philanthropic endeavors, we live on the money that the employees of the Bosch company make all around the world. Bosch is very strong in India, and it has 18 different sites in India and many, many employees. And so Bosch is at home in India. I am not, at least not yet. I have worked in Africa, in Northern America, in Europe, even in Japan and in China, but this is my very first time in India. I've been here for 24 hours, and let me share my first impression. In India, women are there are many, many very strong women, but they're very special. They dare to look beautiful, they dare to look feminine, even they dare to look like princesses, something that